All right, we're back with another edition of the Scotty No Show. We have Jaylen Uthe on the show this week. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, Scotty?
Good, good. So for those that may not know you, could you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I guess I grew up in Presho, South Dakota. I lived my first 18 years of my life there, with my dad John, um, and mom Jen. And then after that, I graduated and went to DW for 2 years, followed by BH for 3 years, where I graduated with with a major in teaching, history, and then a minor in English. And then I've been at Lower Brule now ever since for the last this is working on 2.5, little over 2.5 years now. So
So do you live in Lower Brule?
live in
Or
Chamberlain now.
that's what
And
I
then
thought.
drive.
I thought
Yep.
it was Chamberlain.
Yep.
Um, so you coach the girls basketball team there, do you not?
Coaching the girls now. I was assistant on the boys team the past 2 years prior to this, and then the girls head came up and just kind of applied for that and got this job. So
From what I've been able to see, you guys have won your last three straight games as of this recording.
Yep.
You guys have played in the LNI, played a bunch of games in Huron, it looked like.
DOC, yeah, it's another little challenge. Dakota Oyate challenge is what it is. So we won that one, played a couple different teams there, and then won the championship there.
I believe there was one game in which you played Takini and
Yep.
you guys won 97-21.
Yes.
Explain that.
So Takini's small program, and I think COVID, especially some of these reservation schools, got hit even harder because most of them went purely online for a long time. Takini probably being one of them. I don't know their full situation, but they are very, very young. I think they had 6 people that dressed that game, so 6 girls. A couple of them could have been middle schoolers even. So I mean, I played everybody, the whole bench, or the whole game, but yeah, they were very young. So,
but I just got to ask, when you're looking at the camera, are you looking straight or like what are you doing? Oh, there it is.
There it is. I'll get the camera.
Okay.
I got the screen right here, and the camera's up in the top left. Here, we'll fix it.
Okay.
There we go.
I just noticed you just had like it looked like you had an insistence of not wanting to look at the camera.
No, I haven't done a podcast. I'm telling you. Normally I'm gaming as I'm sitting in front of this. I do a little bit of gaming myself. So, or looking at the screen. So this is what I'm doing. But yeah, camera's up here. My bad.
Okay. Well, last year when you were on the boys staff, you guys went to state last year.
Yep.
And you had to coach against Lyman.
Yes. Interesting experience, to say the least.
Yeah.
Fun, I guess. I don't know. I told the boys, like, we can't lose this one. That was my biggest thing. I was like, playing hometown team. I mean, our boys know Lyman's boys pretty well too. They get along with quite a few of the kids. Toby, I mean, grew up in the community up there, and it's kind of one of Lyman's, starters for the last few years. So we kind of knew what they were about coming in, and that I thought we knew we would give them some matchup problems, just trying to guard Keisham and stuff. But no, yeah, from my perspective, it's kind of cool to be on the other end of it, and definitely a weird feeling at first. But like I said, ended on the good side for us, I guess. But
yeah, talk a little bit about Keisham. He's kind of an unknown entity for a lot of people, but I've seen a few of his games. He's insanely athletic.
Yeah, so crazy athletic, but the thing with him is he doesn't really have like weaknesses per se, especially in his offensive game. And I think that's what makes him so hard to guard. He can shoot from 3 feet behind the 3-point line, or he can take it to the rim on you consistently. Point forward, even he plays our 5, technically our 4 or 5, but he can play point guard if you really asked him to. No, he's just put a lot of time in the gym too. Like, he's a gym rat. He's a guy that's going to go get up shots on a Sunday, even after 3 games on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So in terms of work ethic, doing what you ask, guys, he's a fantastic kid to be around. Okay. And I mean, it shows.
It's So far, the boys have gone 13-1 this season, from what I was able to see. And I believe just recently, Trevin McBride had his 1,000th point.
Yep, he just hit his 1,000 points. So now there's 3 of them on that team. You have Keyshawn has 1,000, Brian has 1,000, Trevin has 1,000. So a lot of talent on the boys team to say the least. So
and of course that's the same region as a team I will be seeing about this time tomorrow.
Yep, I'm going to Sully Buttes, I thought.
Of course, Sully Buttes.
Yep. Played them in regions last year, actually. Knocked them off in regions on our way to state last year. A big rivalry for Lordbro for a long time, because even when Lordbro had really good teams in the past, Sully Buttes was the team that would always meet them in somewhere, whether it be the Sweet 16 or that last region game, and knock them off. A few years ago, Lordbro, I think, was 18-2, and Sully Buttes still beat them in region. So just kind of getting the monkey off the back, I guess, beating them last year for the community, the boys team especially. So
now I know that at Crow Creek, it's this way, and at Todd County, it's this way. Do you guys allow fans at games?
Yes, we have no fan like policy or anything other than wear masks. So we do have a mask mandate. The tribe itself, in any public building, you have to, including the school. So I teach in it every day. They don't have to wear them on court. The players don't, and the refs don't. Coaches don't. That's about it. Everybody else is asked to wear one when they come in. So but no fan restrictions per se. I know a lot of places we go are like 2 fans per player, or no fans even. Crow Creek we played this year and it was no fans. So it's kind of weird, because that's normally a really big game.
Yeah.
But
so actually I think I touched on this a little bit earlier. You coached in the LNI.
Yep.
I kind of semi-played in the LNI.
For Hill City, didn't you?
Yeah. Talk about how awesome of a tournament experience that is.
See, LNI is unique. I had heard about it all throughout high school, just from Lyman to Lower Brule, but I'd never been there. And I've been even in Rapid when I was out at Spearfish. I was even in Rapid a couple different times just during LNI, but I never went to the games. I just thought, oh yeah, it's a tournament. It's a basketball tournament. I've been to some of those. It's a little bit different than anything else I've ever been to, though. Like the first night, they literally roll out the red carpet, and it is a legit red carpet. You walk down it with fans on both sides and a camera posed up above one of the little staircases of the event center, the monument, I guess what it's called now.
Yep.
You feel like it's kind of like something bigger for being a December tournament, especially. It's honestly something crazy. And then that last night, always those championship games are, in terms of fan attendance, like if you can fill that new arena is really nice. And between White River and us, and then that girls game before, which was Lakota Tech, I think played Red Cloud or something like that in the girls game, where it was packed. So it kind of gets you a state tournament feel before you hit the state tournament. And that's something you don't get anywhere else. So
did they burn sage at all? Like, I seem to remember them burning sage.
We have in the past. I don't remember if they did it this year. I think like some of the logistics were a little bit different, just I think with the new arena, like some of the arena wasn't even done necessarily when we were, and just like the walkout was different. And then COVID has changed a few protocols, obviously. So, like I said, so I don't remember that or them doing that at this time, but we have in the past.
Okay. Have you seen a little bit of this girls' state tournament debate that's been going on?
Okay, I just read a little bit on it like today after practice with so all going to one site. Isn't that what the debate kind of is, right?
That's kind of what they want. What's your thoughts on that? I detest it.
So everybody says it's driven by big money, which is probably true. Like, Sioux Falls wants to hold everything. The only reason I see both sides a little bit is like, let's say the state tournaments in Huron, it is tough to book hotel rooms in Huron for every team. Like even like our Dakota Oyate Challenge, that DOC, they struggle to put us in those hotels, and we're not nearly as big a tournament as that state tournament gets. Yeah. So I do see that side of it, where Sioux Falls can house 3 classes, no problem. But at the same time, you're taking a lot of money out of other communities that kind of depended on that for a long time. The B-boys wise, I love it in Aberdeen personally. I get some people don't like it, but I love the B-boys staying there. I don't think they're talking about moving the boys at all, from what I understand.
No,
but which is weird. So I don't quite understand why they're only talking girls and not boys. But
the person who put it up for talking is the Sioux Falls, Washington coach, Mr. Parrish, and he talked about how he cited the success of the combined tournaments for state volleyball. Now, here's the thing. Sioux Falls schools and Harrisburg as well, they don't allow their kids to leave school for state events. So, like, if you want people to attend the games, allow your students to go to the games.
Yep. And get an excused absence. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be much. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm assuming. So the volleyball, I'm assuming they're talking about was in Rapid, right? This year.
Yep.
That's what I thought. And it was kind of cool to see like the 3 courts, all 3 classes, bang, bang. The only thing it would be nice as a basketball fan is to see all the game, whatever game I wanted to jump to, whatever class.
Oh, yeah.
So I see it from that perspective. I'm probably against it, like you said, though, realistically. Like I kind of like the rotating of the girls or whichever way they go, and how it kind of brings people to different communities and not just giving Sioux Falls. I'm assuming that's who would want most of the rights most of the time, between Sioux Falls and Rapid. But yeah.
What's your thoughts on the referee shortage? Because I kind of have a little bit of a rant that I want to go on.
Okay, I'll give you my short and sweet. Like, we just need more young referees, but at the same time, who would want to be a referee right now? Exactly. I don't know. You get yelled at by parents all game. You get yelled at by coaches all game. You don't get paid that well.
The student
you have
section.
To spend your student section. You have to spend a whole night away from family. Like, there's not a lot of like reasons to be a referee other than like you've wanted to be one and you want to help out right now. And then, sure, you make a little extra money here and there. It makes more sense for me to like somebody like me right now who doesn't have kids, in my opinion, than somebody that has a family, just because it's a lot of traveling.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, there's not a lot of reasons, especially right now between the fans and everything yelling at, like, to want to be a referee.
Yeah. So my take on all of that is I've seen people very recently say, blaming refs for losing games. And to that, all I have to ask is, do the refs make shots? Do the refs miss shots? Do the refs make bad passes? Do they make bad coaching adjustments? Do they do anything other than referee the game? If your answer to that is no, stop blaming the ref for your failures.
Oh, exactly. And nobody wants the refs to be like to struggle, and the refs don't want to struggle. Like, they're human. They make mistakes, just like players make mistakes and coaches make mistakes. And I think that's the big thing. And it's, coaches are going to get on refs every once in a while. That's part of the game. And it's been part of the game for a long time. But at some point, like you said, it's like the players play the game, the coaches coach the game, the refs ref the game.
Yep.
It's literally in like the whole state thing they say before every state tournament game. And it's the truth. It's the thing. I'm a coach and I still believe players win games. That's where it's at, where I feel with that.
In Pier, we have a thing that we say before every game where they say, if you belittle whatever a referee, you will be asked to leave the premises. We have that policy. I have not seen it enacted yet, but I kind of want to, because that would be funny.
So kind of funny, not funny, but crazy story. We had a guy in Lord Brule the other night who was just harassing the refs, and so one of my refs asked him, like, he's got to go. Like, it's just too much. It was the vulgarities. That's where they kind of draw the line, I think, most refs. So, he's a guy double, probably a lot bigger than me, and I'm the AD now, so I'm in charge of escorting him out. At the same time, he was not happy with me, but he has since apologized and everything, so no bad feelings. It happens. It gets emotional. I get that. But yeah, so I've seen it happen. It's not pretty, but when it does.
Okay, we're going to transition to kind of a mixed bag of topics before we get to our draft this week. I think it was announced earlier this week. You talk about, you like playing video games.
Yep.
There's going to be a new Grand Theft Auto game.
Really?
Yep.
It's been a while since they've
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it's been about a decade.
That's
honest to
longer
God.
than I thought it was. That's even longer.
It's been about since probably 2013 or 12, I think, at least.
I guess because it's what's the last one? 5?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. People still play that, so I
know
it was newer, but I guess
no. If that's the case, where do you want to see them go?
I've been a past Grand Theft Auto person. I didn't play 5 that much.
Okay.
I didn't think 5 was a bad game per se. I didn't play. I went through a little stage there during that 2012 time where I didn't play as much video games as many video games in general. Gosh, I like the whole like thing behind like Cyberpunk. You remember when that came out?
Oh yeah.
Like, the different world. Like I felt like that had the right ideas, and then they just didn't execute the game very well. With that, just I feel like honestly, like future games interest me, like something futuristic instead of like staying in today's world per se. Like so and then making like I know their role play is their big thing right now with Grand Theft Auto 5. So making that even more fine tuned to where it's doesn't have to be so modded for that to work so well. But I don't understand the full thing as well. But
yeah. I mean, I would love to see them go to Vice City. I would also like to see them. This is going to sound like a weird thing. I want to see them go like back in time to like late 80s, early 90s Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, I'd see that. Something different. Yep.
Yeah. Because if you know anything about Chicago at that time, they had like the Cabrini Green, Candyman, the movie Candyman. Yep.
Okay.
They had that. They had, I mean, obviously the Blues Brothers back in the early 80s. They had all these cultural touchstones. And I just think that if you kind of pay tribute to Chicago in the way they paid tribute to Miami with Vice City.
Miami with Vice. I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to a different place, going to Chicago. Yeah.
And on top of that, like, there's very few times I've ever played Grand Theft Auto where it snowed.
Yep. It's always, like you said, it's always a warm weather, desert climate, almost a certain degree, which I get. That's part of the whole. I mean, it's my, like you said, Vice City in Miami and then San Andreas. So no, yeah, something new for them for sure. And then have to deal with like weather element effects a little more than what they do in that game. So no, yeah.
The NFL has announced they will be playing some games in Germany starting I believe next season.
Okay.
A couple of games in Munich. Your thoughts?
I mean, if it's anything like soccer, I mean, German fans are crazy. So it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Also known to be heavy beer drinkers. So, but no, actually Germany's a place I've always wanted to visit. I've just never had the money or the time, and then COVID happened. And then, no, I think it's good for the NFL to like try to grow the game, continually grow the game. Every game they go over there, they send the worst teams over there to London every time. It's always the Jags and somebody.
Always the Jaguars and the Dolphins.
Yep. And the Dolphins. So they have like crazy fan bases over there that like they show up and shell out for these games, and it's the worst teams and they love it anyway. And I get it's better football than what they see in terms of American football, I should say. But yeah.
I forgot to write this down, but there's been a whole bunch of NFL coaching hires. I think all of them have been filled.
I think they're all filled now. Yeah.
Dennis Allen in New Orleans. My weirdly somewhat similar looking brother from another mother, Mike McDaniel.
Yep.
in Miami.
Yep.
So on and so forth. I think Josh McDaniels.
That's the worst hire of them all, just so we're clear.
Josh McDaniels going to
Las LA, Vegas. Right? Las Vegas. Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, what?
Yeah. I don't know about the McDaniels hire. I thought the Denver one was kind of a good enough like trial run to where teams would stay away, but I guess here we are again.
Is that worse than Is that worse than Lovie Smith going to Houston?
Houston has a long road to go, regardless of who goes there. So I don't think Lovey's that bad, just because he's going to provide some stability to an organization that had Bill O'Brien that kind of tore it down on its own.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't give Coley another year personally, but I thought they played pretty hard, and like Davis Mills kind of came along for being a team that had little talent, very little talent. But
I didn't understand why Miami let go of Flores, because I thought
that one I don't get either.
Because I thought that he did pretty well, and then you find out that he just didn't. He refused to lose games.
Yep. turns out the owner's like, I want Joe Burrow. And he said no. Which I don't know.
Did you hear about Gronk wanting to play in Cincinnati?
Yeah, somebody said that's the only other quarterback he'll play for now or whatever is Joe Burrow now that Brady's gone. Yeah. Is that a report or is that from him? That's my only.
That's from him. That's from from Gronk.
I was like, and Gronk is pretty. I was like, he's pretty open. So
yeah,
if he wants to go to Cincinnati, I'm sure Cincinnati will take a look.
I wonder if he'll have a USAA membership as a part of his contract.
I don't know if they can stop with that commercial.
I hate it so much.
It's so many times. The NFL Sunday, the red zone in it every time.
Yep. So, today, as we're recording this, is National Pizza Day. What is your favorite pizza?
I'm like a Supreme, but no olives guy. I love everything else on Supreme. I can't do olives. It's not my thing.
You have a place that you like to go to?
The place in Spearfish is fantastic. That's probably the last like really good pizza place. It's called
I should know what it is. I lived there.
Look
for
it up.
3
I'm
years.
upset. Spearfish pizza place. That's gonna drive me nuts that I can't think of this. Dough Traders. That's what it's called. Yep. That place is probably my favorite one.
But by the way, are you like banging on your desk there? Like what's that sound I'm hearing?
This, or is it?
Yeah.
It's probably my squeaky chair and desk. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes.
Okay. So it was announced also today that Futurama will be returning to television on Hulu today. That was announced. Do you even like Futurama?
Okay, so in terms of like Adult Swim shows, it's probably the one I've watched the most, but I don't watch a ton of it. Part of the reason, so was it on Netflix for a while first before Hulu? And they pulled it from Netflix, right?
Yeah, and people.
That's when I watched it. Yes. I don't love Hulu because I don't like paying for a subscription that I still have to watch commercials. But that's my 2 cents on Hulu.
I'm okay with it, honestly.
So that's what some people say. Some people are fine with the little break. I don't spend much time watching TV, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
So I get my one episode of Criminal Minds in the night, and that kind of puts me to bed. I love Criminal Minds. So
really, okay,
yes, yeah. I'm almost done with the whole 12 seasons though, so I got to figure out something else to do or rewatch it, I guess. But
the weird thing is some people find this weird, but when you work in sports, the last thing you want when you go home somehow is more sports.
It's kind of true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like no offense to any NBA game or anything that might be on. I would much rather watch like the Joe Montana documentary I watched last week on Peacock. Fantastic. Loved it.
Yep.
No,
I agree with you. Yeah. I spend all day doing it. I watch tape. I have to watch enough film. When I get my break, it feels nice. And other than Sunday, I still do watch. I mean, I love the NFL on Sundays.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, but other than that, like college basketball revs up a little bit where I try to get into every one of those games or some of those games, especially coming into the tournament here soon. But yeah.
So some unfortunate news that happened earlier today. Jeremy Giambi passed away. I believe he was 47.
Ooh.
So that's Jason Giambi, who's probably the more famous of the Giambi brothers.
Brother,
That's
right?
his
Yep.
younger brother, I believe.
Yep. I think you're right. Jeremy played for like the A's, I think,
Yep.
for a while.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay. No,
So
yeah.
that's unfortunate. If I'm remembering correctly, you are a fan of an evil team from Chapel Hill.
I am. Yes, we are having a rough year though. So
Yes.
in
Uh,
terms of I get it's like Hubert's first year and some people are calling for him to be fired already. Relax a little
yeah.
bit. I think to those
Yeah.
people, like we're not a talented team in terms of like when Chapel Hill gets its talented teams. I don't think they have quite the same
It's
level
not
this year.
it's not Matt Doherty bad.
No, exactly. I mean, in replacing Roy is never going to be easy, or Mike Krzyzewski when he leaves
Yeah.
Duke. And I get they have Shire, and everybody says he's fantastic in recruiting so far,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so we'll see. I mean, that'll be a different era, crazy different eras between both those programs.
Shire being the head coach of Duke is very weird to me because it was like a during like one of those computer PowerPoint presentation type of classes. I actually had to do a PowerPoint presentation on John Shire in high
Really?
school. Yes.
Of all people, John
Yeah.
Shire. Then he happens to be the Duke next head coach.
I
Crazy.
know.
No, yeah,
I know.
good
Like
college player.
like a
But,
decade later.
yep. Has he been
Yeah.
coaching under Krzyzewski then prior to this? I'm
Oh
assuming.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured, but because that's kind of how I feel like it works in college. You start underneath that coach, and then you pretty much work the job from there.
Yeah.
But makes sense.
Duke, of course, I believe it was a couple days ago. They lost to Virginia.
Yep.
Yikes.
That is a yikes because Virginia is not quite the
They're
same.
not good.
They're not
They're
good
not
this year.
good at all.
But again, like I said, we just played the Duke Carolina game, and I could not watch after the first half. So
Yeah.
a little rough.
Yeah. Of course, we talk about Virginia not being good. They lost to Navy at home. That's
Yeah.
not good.
That's just rare for them too. They've kind of been like
Yeah.
a staple of stability to at least be like relevant for a long
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah. They're known for their defense, and their defense ain't good.
no, and they don't score like normal. So it just, yep.
We're getting closer and closer to the NBA All-Star break.
Yep.
A lot of moving and shaking lately. One person that hasn't moved yet is Ben Simmons. For the love of God, get him out of Philadelphia.
I don't care where he goes, but like, why is he still there? I just don't understand the full like both teams are like the Sixers could have other pieces that could be helping them. They're in a playoff race. They have a pretty good team with or without him.
They have an MVP candidate.
They have an MVP candidate. Yeah, exactly. And then like pieces around that MVP candidate with another, even if he's not like a superstar, but a DeMar DeRozan. No offense to DeMar, he's having a great season. He's not a superstar, but type of player. And I'm not Russell Westbrook either. But that's I don't know what Russell's trade outlook looks like anywhere right now.
No.
So
a couple players from teams that got traded. I don't actually have them written down where they went, unfortunately. But CJ McCollum got traded from the Blazers, and Joe Ingles got traded from the Jazz.
Okay, the Ingles one doesn't surprise me at all because he had fell out of the rotation, is on a contract year, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
I was surprised by McCollum. I get what's not working. It's not working in LA. He went to the Pelicans. I do know that one.
Yep.
I don't know where Ingles went. McCollum's a stud. I like him, but Portland had to do something. I guess I don't know. I saw what they got back, and I don't think it's enough. But
I haven't seen has Zion even played once this season?
Not this season again. So that's their problem. That's their issue. Because you put McCollum with a healthy Zion, sure, you might.
Are we sure that's their problem, or?
You're right.
Honestly, if there was any place for Zion to go, New Orleans was the worst place.
Yep.
Because they love to cook. They love to feed everybody. And that man has probably ate his weight in gumbo already.
That is good food down there. That's true.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah. The other one was Halliburton, Tyrese, or whatever.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that from the
The
Kings.
Kings, and I don't understand the Kings organization. So,
Yeah,
you got the rookie of the year, and then you trade him to the Pacers for Sabonis or something like that. Who's sure maybe a better player right now, but I don't think the Kings were within 2 years of winning. So, I don't understand that one, but.
So we got a Super Bowl draft.
Yep.
I kind of stole this idea from Barstool Sports, not gonna lie. The draft, the way it goes is we have to draft a coach,
yep.
Have to draft a quarterback,
okay,
have to draft a halftime show,
okay,
have to pick a game,
gotcha.
from our lifetime and a commercial from our lifetime.
Gotcha.
So as the guest, you get first pick.
First pick. Can I go anywhere? I got to go coach.
Yep.
Coach.
You can go anywhere.
So I got to go QB too, you said?
Yeah, you can go QB.
That's fine. Like if I were to go, I mean, I hate Tom Brady, but like I got to go Tom Brady, right? He's the first pick of any draft for winning Super Bowls.
Yep.
In terms of winning games. I mean, that would be the easy answer. If I were to go outside of QB, I had a couple other guys. I had Gronk and Terrell Owens. Those are the two guys I would go outside of quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Just Gronk and T.O. both showed up in huge games. T.O., this Eagles Super Bowl is the first one I like remember when I was little.
Okay.
With Donovan McNabb. And again, Tom Brady beats them. But T.O. had like 11 catches on a hurt ankle or whatever it is. And who knows how hurt it was, whatever. But 11 catches
broken
in
leg,
Super Bowl.
From what I remember.
Yeah. So 11 catches is 11 catches. Whatever set that record for Super Bowl. And it's still, I think he still has it, right?
I think Edelman broke it.
Edelman might have broke it. Okay. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't even 11. Maybe it was only 9. It was some number like that. But anyway, those are the two other guys I had down if we were looking outside of quarterbacks. I'll go Tom Brady.
That was also the Super Bowl in which Donovan McNabb puked on the field.
Yep. I remember that. He's like hunched over and on the side. Like I said, it's the first one I really, really remember.
Yep.
The back of Hutch's Lounge. That's where I watched it.
So as much as I would love to pick kind of the original Tom Brady, that being Joe Montana, I was not alive for most of his career. Same with Terry Bradshaw. I watched a documentary on him this week. Can't pick him either. So if I'm going to pick anybody, I'm picking Favre.
I was like Brett Favre, number 4.
Yep, I'm picking Favre.
Yep.
I mean, he's honestly probably he shouldn't have won MVP. Honestly, that Super Bowl between them and the Packers and the Patriots, that's the first Super Bowl I remember. And Favre, throwing that touchdown to Irving Fryer of all people, and taking off his helmet, running around like a maniac. That's a clip everybody remembers. It seems like. A little Super Bowl trivia. Do you know who the MVP of the Super Bowl was that year?
No, I don't.
It was Desmond Howard.
He won. Did he win the Heisman too?
Yep.
That's what I thought. So he was a Heisman corner. Yeah. Okay, I know what the guy is, but did not know he won it that year.
Yep. Although in my mind, it should have been Reggie White, because I believe still to this day, Reggie White has the Super Bowl record for sacks in a game with 3.
Which is crazy. I mean, that's crazy numbers, knowing how many times he was double teamed realistically.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he was an animal though. So
yeah. So with this being a snake draft, I get the next
back to
pick.
you. Yep.
Back to me. I'm gonna go with commercial.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to 2003.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Terry Tate, office linebacker.
Terry Tate, office linebacker.
That is the commercial where a man just basically runs around an office and tackles people. I don't know what I don't know what the company was, but I just have a very distinctive memory of a guy just running around, just hit sticking like Phyllis from accounting. And I'm like, oh my God. Yes.
That's fair. Yeah, because like you said, it's an office building. I just threw it up on my other screen. I got another monitor up here.
Okay.
Yep. He's just running around hitting people. You're right. That's funny. No, I don't like you said, that's been a while. Yeah, I don't remember that one necessarily, just because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember commercials very much in general. I've already discussed my hate for them with Hulu. I did look some up and try to bring some back up to memory. I went with the What's Up Budweiser one because I feel like puts a whole nother bunch of commercials out there that we still even hear the What's Up thing. So that was,
and that was also parodied in I believe it was Scary Movie, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, that's where I had first like remember it from, and then I went back and watched the commercial because I looked it up. It's 6, like I would have been 6 years old when this one came out. So I was in my lifetime, but yeah. So 2000 is the year this one dropped.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I remember it from Scary Movie though, because I had watched that. And then, yep, it was parodied back from, like you said, back from this commercial back in 2000. So
yep,
that's the one I went with.
It's back to you.
Back to me. We'll go halftime show here.
Ooh.
There's a few to pick in my lifetime that have been crazy, honestly, between the Janet Jackson one, and then you had Prince one was pretty crazy. I honestly wanted to jump on the Prince one, but I have seen Bruno Mars perform twice, and I will take Bruno Mars over anybody just because he actually makes me feel like we're actually there in the concert, and that's hard to do through a TV, and nobody else can do that I've seen. Prince one was pretty close. That would be the other one. But
now, which Bruno Mars are we talking about? Are we talking the one where I think it was in Miami, or are we talking the one that was in San Francisco at Super Bowl 50?
The first one that he did.
Okay. Yep.
Gosh. Yeah. Because he was like featuring, technically he wasn't the headliner in the second one, right?
No.
Well,
it was wasn't it Beyonce?
Beyonce, yep. It was the first Bruno Mars one where he was the headliner. So Beyonce, I think, like you said, was the headliner in the second one, and he came on. I mean, he was fantastic in both, but no, yeah, I'll take that one. The first Bruno.
I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't snap up Prince. So I'm taking Prince. I mean, one of my favorite stories when it comes to the Super Bowl is Prince. They're like, "Oh my God, Prince, it's raining," and Prince was like, "Can you make it rain harder?" And he's just out there on a slippery stage, just playing guitar, and he's not even playing his own songs. He's playing "Best of Me" or "Best of You" by the Foo Fighters, and it's like, what?
No, Prince was fantastic. I agree. That's the other one. I am not even. My dad listens to some older stuff, and that's the only way I hear it. I don't even listen to it in general, so I was never a big like Prince guy or whatever. But that in Minneapolis, that was a fantastic show. So
that was in Miami, is where that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Not Minneapolis. Why did I think it was? Where did he perform with Minneapolis?
He didn't. That? Well, that's First Avenue.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
There we go.
That's where that comes from. And then but I think the thing that you're thinking of is Justin Timberlake's performance in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was that Prince. I like to call it a death puppet. The hologram.
Oh, yep. That's on. Yeah, that's what it was. Where he like pays like, yeah, you're right. That's what I had in my head from, because I remember the Minneapolis Super Bowl did like a thing or something for
Yeah.
him or whatever. But that makes sense. But yeah,
Still to this day, one of the biggest regrets I have is not going to that Super Bowl.
I'm actually surprised you didn't make it there.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Actually, two of my biggest regrets are that one, and is it still my pick? I think it's my pick still.
I mean, you can run with it even if it's not.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
But
Go ahead.
I actually got invited to go to this Super Bowl,
Okay.
and I turned it down.
Ooh.
Because I didn't know how I was going to fly out there, didn't know how to get down to Houston. It's Super Bowl 51.
Okay.
It's 28-3.
Yep.
It's
you
the
missed, you missed that, baby.
Yep. My roommates, my college roommates in college, their dad is a professor at Harvard, so he was loaded, and he got everybody in the family tickets,
Really?
and they offered me one, and I'm like, okay, how am I getting down there? And that's
And
that was
that's
kind
where
of
that stopped.
that's kind of the hang up.
That kind of sucks because that Super Bowl would have been crazy to be at, even though, like I said, snoozer in the first half, and then, but yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, and
But,
that one featured Lady Gaga at halftime,
which also was not bad either. Yeah,
no.
I don't. Yeah,
She
don't say
jumped off the
100%.
roof.
Oh yeah, I forgot she came down on the
she jumped off the roof, and she's like, "I'm on the edge of glory." And I was like, "Oh my god."
Lady Gaga. That's some good stuff. Yeah.
Your next pick.
I'll go. We'll go. Gosh, I'll go game two.
Okay.
I gave Tom Brady the MVP, so I'll go. I got to go back to my Colts. I do love the Colts as much as I hate Tom Brady. That's the thing. So I had Tom Brady as my player as a Colts fan. So the Peyton Manning Super Bowl where he finally got a ring in 06. Okay. I mean, that's the one for me. That's
the Prince Super Bowl.
Yep. Exactly. So that one sticks out for a couple different reasons, but obviously being a Peyton Manning ring, finally, and he only got one. Aaron Rodgers is about to be on like that same career path, possibly, which is crazy. But if he were to go somewhere and win one, and it'd be more weird if it was in Denver. But
yeah.
So
yeah, the thing I remember the most about that Super Bowl is actually not the game itself. It was who I was watching it with. I was watching it with a bunch of my basketball teammates, and it was, I think, the first time that I ever played Texas Hold'em.
Really? So you never played poker up until that point?
I had never played
close
poker.
To Deadwood.
Yeah, I know. But I was probably 14 at the time. I had no idea what poker was, really.
Yeah, ESPN2 and me were a bonding relationship, and I watched too many World Series of Poker games not to know what poker was. But yeah, I watched so much of that.
Do you have a favorite, and why is it Chris Moneymaker?
Okay, so he's the one guy that's fantastic. I loved him, and I love Phil Ivey. If you know who that is, that's the other guy. So, and then who is it? Phil Hellmuth. I hate it. Yeah, that was the guy. And I think I've learned to like him over the time, but couldn't stand him. Chris Moneymaker was the dude for a while, though. You're right.
I believe you have the first pick for coaches, and then we'll go. I'll make my pick, and then we'll go through honorable mentions.
Sounds good. For coaches, I toss up. McVay doesn't even have a Super Bowl, but that's my one I want right now. If I were to have a Super Bowl tomorrow, okay. I know Tomlin was the other one who's proven he can get it done. But I McVay is like how he like celebrates with his players and stuff. I love that. I love seeing that as a coach. I just feel like he is in true happiness, and you see true loves team success. So like I said, not a common one because he doesn't even have the Super Bowl win yet. So I think that'll change on Sunday. I really do.
Yeah,
I love the Bengals story. It's a great story.
I do too. One thing that as a fan of football and somewhat fan of gambling, I would bet all the money in the world on the Rams, and here's why. It's a baby game. Odell Beckham Jr.'s girlfriend or wife is pregnant. They're expecting their kids sometime this week. That is a definite new dad energy. Bet the new dad.
Fair enough. Especially a guy that, can make a difference like him. I mean, he's not even the best receiver in his own team, so which is crazy.
So I'm looking at my team. I've got Favre, obviously.
Yep.
So I need somebody that can manage him. And you know what? I have to have the dream team together. I'm going with Madden.
Okay.
I'm going with John Madden coaching Brett Favre. I mean that would be incredible. Can you imagine that?
No, yeah,
duo?
that dynamic. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, Favre, just having Madden himself. I mean, especially, that one that's hit the football world, I think, harder than most deaths, in the past, 5-10 years even. The Sean Taylor one was the other one. I felt like those two were that I feel like kind of like hit harder. Him because he was so young, obviously, and then Madden one. Yeah.
By the way, we haven't even talked about the Pro Bowl.
No, I don't. Do we need to?
Not really. I mean, I
get the Pro Bowl. I don't complain about it. It is what it is. You're never going to have more than two hand touch football. People, their careers on the line a little bit in football. I would like to see flag football. Put them out there with flags and let's see who's fast.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Like the skills competitions are cool. I think those are fun to watch.
Yeah.
But the game itself is what it is.
I don't know who it was that talked about this. I don't know what player it was, but they talked about how the Pro Bowl is the only all-star game not played in the middle of the year.
Oh, I did see that. And that's why and that's what makes it different to a certain degree. It was like a D lineman or something like that, but I can't remember who. And it wasn't, I don't think it was TJ Watt. That one rings my bell, rings a bell in my head. But no, I remember I saw the quote on Facebook or something like that of it, but I can't remember who it was.
I mean, I would love that in the middle of the year. That way you can get the people that are playing that would have played in the Super Bowl playing in the Pro Bowl. Oh,
for sure. And I think you got to have incentivize it some way, like money, like they all like money. Incentivize it through money, put it in contracts, whatever,
Bitcoin.
something different than Bitcoin. I don't think anyone wants that stock right now.
Yeah. But I'll be honest. I have no idea anything about
Bitcoin either. I just know that the stocks are tanked because a couple of my friends follow it, but at the moment, but I don't understand it. As much as I love tech, I got a big old computer over here, a couple monitors. Bitcoin's too much, but
so honorable mentions, obviously you didn't pick them. I can understand why, but Belichick.
Yeah, Belichick. Like I said, I already had Brady. I can't do it as a Colts fan.
Bill Walsh, and I also had Mike Ditka on mine.
Ditka on yours. Okay. No, not bad. Yeah, like I said, I try to stay within, I guess, my time period. So I would add Tom. I would add, which is fine. No, especially Madden. He deserves the shout out. I went with Tomlin for sure. Bill Walsh would have been the other. Bill Walsh. I mean, you could say Jimmy Johnson because the Cowboys haven't won anything since then. That would be the other one that I would throw on there for honorable mention.
Well, that they should have never
gotten rid of him in the first place.
Gotten rid of him in the first place.
It's Jerry being Jerry, though. So it's that I love Tony Dungy too a little bit just because he was part of that Colts team. That would, Colts team. And then he was part of the coordinator on the Bucks team that won it in 2002. And I mean,
Yeah.
if you win it with the D coordinator and Brad Johnson's your quarterback, you're doing something right. So
Tom Landry.
I know.
If you
Oh
wanna
yeah,
go,
way back
way back.
Cowboys. Yep.
The Tom Landry, Vince Lombardi, the damn thing is named after him.
Yep.
I told you I'm watching pro wrestling right now. I'm watching a guy stab somebody else with a fork. So that's
what's
what's
at in there.
That's what's happening on TBS right now. Yeah, they know funny or whatever the tagline used to be. Quarterbacks, Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw were my only options.
If you were to go older, those two. Gosh. I mean, Eli, I threw him out there.
Oh my God.
He only made the Super Bowl twice. When he did, he like 2 drives that, and I hate Big Ben and I hate the Steelers, but he had a couple good Super Bowls. But the defense were a little bit more there. Same with Eli's, but
you know who might be the most elite quarterback in the Super Bowl, but he only won one, is Kurt Warner.
Oh yeah, with the Rams, true. And I mean, even in his loss with the Cardinals, he was really good in that game. It's just, because it was a fumble recovery by Harrison, right? And it wasn't
interception, I thought.
Oh, he did throw the pick on the goal. Did he throw the pick on the goal line? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was a fumble or an interception. That changed that whole game. He wins too, but
I'm just watching this match, and it's hard to explain. The top rope is completely broken. There's a chair with barbed wire strung up on it. I think there's a table. This guy is grabbing the steel steps. Pro wrestling is silly, but
so you got all kinds of stuff going
on.
The fork I think does it.
Halftime show. I mean, I talked about JT, but I'd be remiss if we didn't mention Katy Perry and Left Shark.
The Katy, yep, that one. I mean, I wasn't against the Shakira one. I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't think a lot of people were.
So, in terms of another one that I would throw out there, but again, that's kind of recency bias there.
Yeah,
I remember that one just being so recent, but
the game. I have a few. Pats Giants, the first one.
Yep. That's the David Tyree catch, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that play kind of just like epitomizes that whole game in general. I agree. Not the second one, not like was it Plaxico, or is that still the first one? That's the touchdown catch of the first drive.
Yeah, that's the touchdown catch in the first one. Second one was Mario Manningham.
Yep, down the sideline. You're right, on like a 3rd or 4th down play or whatever. Yep, and it got the drive started. Okay, yeah. Still, the Tyree one was the one that stood out. You're right. Yep.
The Patriots and Seahawks.
The pick at the end zone.
Yep. The main reason why that I love that is I actually went to a Patriots game in Minneapolis that year, and I got to see them play. That one holds a little bit of a significance to me, because I got to see the Super Bowl champions in the season that they played, given they played and somebody just went through a table. They played the Vikings at TCF Bank, and it was the first game that Adrian Peterson was suspended for.
I forgot for the whole investigation behind his. Yep. Was it 8 games, right? Yeah.
I thought he was suspended. 4? I thought he was suspended the entire season, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, so I think season started. I swear they got it rescinded, but I could be wrong too. I don't know. But
I just remember watching way too much Matt Asiata. That's all.
Not quite the athletic running back that AP is.
No. So. And then finally, Pittsburgh, Arizona. That one is also significant for being the final game called by John Madden.
That's crazy. It makes sense. I just kind of forgot about that. Huh.
Yep.
I guess in terms of like games for me, I would throw the Titans
Titans
Rams won. I just remember what's Dyson like yard and a half short of changing who's the outcome. So that one, especially after the Music City Miracle existed, like literally the same playoff run, right? If I'm not mistaken. So so yeah, that one, and I was young, and I still remember like Dyson reaching out.
If I was allowed to pick Super Bowls from years that I wasn't alive, because I've seen a few. I've actually watched most Super Bowls. I own a ton on DVD. But the Bills and Giants Super Bowl from 1991, from the year I was born. Scott Norwood, wide right, I believe it was, hits the field goal. It's the first of 4 losses for the Bills.
That's what I was like. They continually lose now, and they get to the game but couldn't quite finish. Right? Yep. Who's the quarterback at this time? There, am I?
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly, right? Am I? That's what I thought. Because Chad Kelly's now. I mean, we tried the little experiment in the Colts, his nephew or whatever.
Swag Kelly.
Yep, Swag. Dude's got talent. I'm sure of this, but he's just can't quite keep his off the field actions away to stay in the NFL. But
what was I gonna say? And then there's also the Bengals 49ers second game from 89. The John Taylor catch, in the end zone. Joe Montana telling Harris Barton that John Candy's in the end zone. Let's go see John Candy. I love that story. And on top of that, it's one of the few Super Bowls that a wide receiver won the MVP, Jerry Rice.
Yep.
Jerry Rice had like 223 yards, I think, in that game.
That's crazy.
Something silly. Also, and as weird as it is, I'm not a big fan of blowouts, but if I were to be a big fan of a blowout, Giants and Broncos from, like, I want to say it was 86. Phil Sims, who I should have honestly put him as one of my quarterbacks. His stat line 22 for 25, 200 and or probably 300 some odd yards and multiple touchdowns. Just the most efficient performance in Super Bowl history.
22. Yeah, I mean, that'll do it. 22-25, especially in that time when it wasn't quite transitioning to a little more throw heavy, but not quite there where it is today. Obviously, none of the quarterback rules that exist today, but that's crazy stats.
Commercials. Budweiser frogs. I mean, that was like one of the first viral ones from that. I was like maybe 4 when that happened, but seemed like everybody knows the Budweiser. Everybody knows that. The Doritos Magic 8-Ball from 2009.
I was gonna say Doritos has a couple of good ones in there that I like. That's one of them. Yep. That would be there. I remember companies more than I do the whole commercial itself, but yeah. Magic 8 one was good.
I like the Snickers. I believe it was Betty White. It was like, you're playing like Betty White out there. That commercial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of people,
speaking of passed away in the past year. I mean, that's an icon.
So, and then finally, probably the most iconic McDonald's commercial I can think of, Bird versus Magic, a game of horse, or not Bird versus Magic, Bird versus Jordan.
Yep, versus Jordan, game horse. Okay, yep, I do remember that one. I didn't know it was a Super Bowl commercial though.
Yep, 93.
Yep. Okay, no, I didn't know that, but I do know. Yeah, I do know what that commercial is. I've seen a few of those ones because that one reminds me of like the other one that I think of as an NBA one, but it's the NBA like Christmas All-Star one.
Oh the one where there's like 6 players and they're all shooting, and then Steph Curry makes like a shot and he's not even aiming at the right basket.
Yep. It's that one. That one just sticks in my head. That one, it's like him, KD, LeBron, Kobe. It's like all the studs. And yeah,
it's like Jingle Bells playing.
Yep, it's the Jingle Bells. Yeah, yep. It's not even the background. As they make the shot and they go through the hoop, it makes a sound of the Jingle Bells notes. That's what it is. So yeah, that's the other. I mean, it's not like I said, it's not a Super Bowl commercial, so I couldn't run with it. But that's the other one I really remember.
Yeah. So yep, that's our draft. Your picks were Sean McVay.
I had McVay, like
Tom
I said,
Brady.
Yep.
Bruno Mars, the first one.
Yep.
Colts, Bears, in 2006.
06. Yep.
And then what's up?
What's up, Budweiser? Yeah, that was a good attempt. I didn't even try that.
Yeah. My picks are Madden, Favre, Prince, 20-3. That Super Bowl, and then Terry Tate, office linebacker.
Yep. You might have the better draft, but I have Brady. That's all I'm telling you.
That's like your. I mean, God, I feel so nerdy saying this. That's like we have a machine gun. Yeah, well, we have a Hulk.
Yep.
Like that's your equivalent.
Exactly.
Of that.
Like I said, going with a Super Bowl coach that hasn't won a Super Bowl is kind of,
yeah,
little sketchy move. But I was like, put him with Brady, he can do whatever. So, but
so yeah, that's basically the show. You can stick around for the post-show debriefing.
Sounds good.
But before that, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, just thanks for, having me on first time. Like I said, hopefully, we can do it again sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Be around. And I'm assuming, you're running with this once a week. Is that what you get these done still?
Usually.
Or about once every, depending on how busy you're.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I don't blame you. I feel it. Really do. So.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Wednesday seems to be the night too. So I mean, it is kind of the church night.
Yep. Exactly.
Activities are finally done. Yep. So.
Yep.
But. So yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. The only thing that really ever stops me is if I'm extremely tired from working the night before, which honestly I kind of am, but I mean, I had a little 4-hour nap earlier today. I'm good.
Got a little, little cat nap in.
Yeah. A little cat nap in there. But, I guess one thing that I like to ask every guest, I mean, you kind of alluded to Criminal Minds.
Yep.
What are you watching, and do you have any like music recommendations?
I've been watching, like I said, Criminal Minds, the one, and then I'm a Star Wars geek again, so I'll nerd out there. Yeah. Ooh, I love. So the Book of Boba Fett is out. Yes, and I have not watched it yet because I'm trying to zoom through Criminal Minds these next season and a half before I fully sit down and watch. I'm kind of like, it wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be like upset with having to wait for them all to come out and then just watching them all in a succession. I watched the first one, but so I The Mandalorian I've watched twice through, I think, both all the seasons they have.
Okay. So
yeah.
I reviewed the Book of Boba Fett for my reviews. The thing is as I'm watching this, I'm like, man, I really should have watched The Mandalorian before this.
I would have. It does definitely help me, and even in the first 2 episodes, to watch The Mandalorian. And even though it's not like directly based on it, they kind of hint to the Book of Boba Fett's coming. And I think it's season 2 a little bit of The Mandalorian. But the Mandalorian's fantastic. Man. Honestly, if you were a fan of the Book of Boba Fett, it's worth it.
TBS is doing weird stuff now. They've gone from pro wrestling to now celebrities making food. I believe that
is Gordon Ramsay there. That's all it has to be.
No, he is not. But apparently Baron Davis is there.
Oh, so you got like basketball.
Oh yeah. Well, no wait, that was a commercial for a TV show on True TV.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm surprised it wasn't a commercial for Impractical Jokers if we're talking about True TV.
That's about all
But
TV shows. I love Impractical Jokers. Or
oh yeah,
kind of did. I know they one guy's leaving,
I
though,
mean,
so
I think are they done now?
I think they're going to be done. From what I heard, it's rumors because the one guy's leaving and they kind of all have been a thing. So they've all do their own stand up as it is already.
Oh yeah,
from what I understand. So
yeah, I think I saw Joe has like a show in like Sioux City or something like that coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then music wise.
I'm always looking for artists myself, to be honest. I'm
really
hit like I will search through Spotify for an hour or so I mean, these road trips when we go, these, we have a few that are 3 hours or so on the bus. So I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I don't know if you've heard of Tate McRae, and I know I've
heard of that.
Okay, she's fantastic, and I kind of Olivia Rodrigo-ish, and I know that may sound something different, but I love Tate McRae. So that's kind of been my watch for I guess somebody to like kind of watch out for. Her and I always like, and whenever NF drops something, I'm a big NF fan. That's the other one. Yes, yep.
Yeah.
So yep.
That's one of my favorites, Hollywood.
So between those two, that's probably where I'd go right now. I don't mind Gail either. That's the new girl that came. The A B C D E F U.
Yeah,
it's more my wife's stuff, but whatever she listens to, I obviously have to in the car as well. So,
but by the way, how is that working out?
Great. Yeah, bought a house in Chamberlain. Recently married. After we were engaged for longer than normal because we were first supposed to get married in June of 2020. Well, that was COVID. So we thought, well, we could still do it and, have a little party and then do a bigger thing later. And like, nah, let's just wait. And so we postponed until July 2021. So, I mean, we were engaged for, like I said, a good 2 years. But no, yeah, she's great. Dog's great. No kids. Like I said, that's fine.
Full disclosure, during state football, which that reminds me, I have another point to make. Okay. About the state tournament thing. But during state football, I was driving back from Sioux Falls actually.
Okay.
And it was windy as hell. I don't know if you remember.
I remember that day. Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah, there was there was tumbleweeds blowing around by Kimball, and I'm like, well, of course there's tumbleweeds blowing around by Kimball. There's nobody here. And no offense to anybody from Kimball, but it was blowing all over the place. I think I stopped in Oklahoma, and I came very close to being like, do I know anybody in Chamberlain? Like I came close to being like, Jaylen?
Hey, yep. I do. I have a guest bedroom. So you ever get stuck? It's down there. It's ready to go. My wife, not me. I am not a fantastic keeping the house clean, but she is. So
okay,
it's always beds made, ready to go. If you ever need a place to stop, whatever.
Ooh.
So, just let me know.
Here's a good question. Okay. Best thing your wife cooks?
She makes we used to do this HelloFresh thing, but now she's like kind of like transformed some of HelloFresh kind of in her own meals. We have these like little rice bowl things mixed with it's like got this buffalo sauce and all these other sauces. Ooh. I honestly don't know what she puts in it, but that and steak, like little steak strips. That's probably in turn of that, and like that's got like I love like not almonds, what do they put on them? Little peanuts on top of it with this different glaze. So that is probably where I'd have to go with
kind of a Kung Pao
number one. Yeah, like a Kung Pao type of Kung Pao, but steak instead of chicken. Yep.
Okay. The thing that I was referring to is people were talking about state basketball and how usually the AAA game or whatever is the final game.
Yep.
And my thing was, imagine if the AAA game was the first game on Thursday morning. How mad would people get? But
that'd be crazy. But everybody else has to deal with it, so it is funny. Yeah, you're right. But
But one thing that I would like to somehow see, and I know Lower Brule is a part of this, the All Nations Conference.
Yep. Being a part of that weekend.
Yeah. I would love
think that is something eventually that we are working towards. Now, I can't say whether or not that's going to be a thing next year, because I don't know for sure myself. My superintendent's actually like kind of like I don't know if you call him commissioner of the league, whatever. He's one of the members on the board, them, and then him, and then the rest of the ADs. And then I sit on some of the meetings. But I know at some point, we've kind of talked about working towards possibly playing that Saturday morning, because there is no games that day up until that AAA game. So, and we're in 2 divisions now in the All Nations Football League, where we have a B and an A. So we could do like that Saturday morning, and then that AAA being that night following everything.
The thing that conflicts with that is, what if there's a USD football
game?
Correct,
football game. So then you're hoping that USD plays on the road, or that is the issue. Yep, I agree. So, so I know they've talked to. I know we kind of talked or had discussions a little bit, because we did go to the Dome for our game even this year. You guys went to Brookings still, didn't you? Or did you guys go back to the Dome this year?
Nope, back to the Dome.
It was back to the Dome. It was the Brookings the year before. Yep. So we still did play
2 years before.
2 years before. Yep. We still did play our games in the Dakota Dome, just on a different weekend.
Okay.
So we kind of, I know, had discussions like, hey, how can we possibly get this part of everything else? Because there's no reason realistically that it should be separate. So
and I think a lot of people, myself included, would love to see it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's like this has definitely increased. Like the All Nations has definitely increased like the like popularity of football in Native American schools. Just being able to compete on a different stage is a big thing. And you kind of lose hope at some point with some of the schools if you're playing. And some of the schools are big enough to play 9AA, 11B, and competing with winter. If you're, some of these other schools is difficult. So
yeah. I'll end the show with this.
Okay.
But again, please stay on the line.
Yeah, we'll do.
But mutual, I don't know if he's a friend of yours or not, but he's definitely an acquaintance.
Okay.
Jared Anderson.
Yep.
He coaches at Bridgewater Emory Ethan, or at least he did. I don't know if he still does. But
last I checked, he did, like you said, but I don't know anymore.
But every time we go to state, they go to state, and the only time that they won was when it was in Brookings. The year later, they're playing against winter, they lose, and I go up to Jared after the game, and he's like, "We should just play this in Brookings every year."
The weather elements probably help them a little bit, because I know Bridgewater Emory is a ground and pound.
So that's another thing that I would love to see, and this is just my personal thing.
Yep.
I would love to see teams that co-op in football.
Yep.
Co-op in other things
other than just putting them together. Fair enough.
And the reason why I say that is Bridgewater Emory by themselves, they're known as the Huskies.
Yep.
Ethan by themselves is known as the Rustlers. Together, they somehow make the Seahawks. What?
Yep.
What?
Yep. The iconic old logo and everything of the old Seattle Seahawks. Yep.
Like how in the world does that work?
Well, that's how you had the Jones County one. They were the Wolverines, right?
Yeah.
When they combined with that. That one was really weird. I was like, Tigers and Coyotes. That's the only thing I ever knew them by. And then you had the Wolverines. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Cool logo, but different. Yeah.
So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.